So to pick up where we left off in our last discussion, folks, you know, I was at a family gathering not too long ago, and there were a bunch of kids running around and stuff, and I went to check on somebody or get someone or something like that. So I went and found the kids, and they were out there throwing a ball or something, and so I think there was like a ant hill or something close by, and they were running and trampling around it and stuff. And so I was telling them to chill out because I didn't want them to step on the ants. So that got their attention, and so they stopped, and I showed them how the ants were going in and out of their holes and how that was their community and everything. And so one of the kids, you know, felt like they were just ants, and they said I was talking crazy. Now, I laughed at it because I was, they were joking. Obviously, they're just little kids, but I'm trying to make a point to you folks of where we've gotten into society, where these children were in the, toddler age, 4 to 7 year old age range. And for them to tell me that I'm talking crazy because I'm trying to explain to them that ants are living creatures and you shouldn't harm their habitat and they're God's creatures, and that the children themselves were God's creatures, and how they wouldn't want someone to harm them. And I put it really simply, and they understood what I was saying, but it was more like a matter of I want to stomp on these ants. You see, narcissism is taught to children, folks. The poison of your minds has seeped out into the next generation. And you've seen it. So if you're damned, what are your children, folks? I was talking to y'all in the other video, and I was talking about that person telling me about how they're low for crickets. And I was bringing up that YouTube video. I saw some guy, and he was talking or something. He had a swarm of ants near him. He was out in the field somewhere with boots on, and he was like, I hate ants. And he was just stomping them out. And the ants are obviously living where they live, folks. So really, when you reason the situation of any of these situations you look at, you see a person who clearly doesn't live in the dirt, in a hole in the dirt by the tree. Clearly, none of these people who have stomped these ants or killed these spiders or anything live in these places, right? So where does the spider reasonably, unless you want the spider completely eradicated from the face of the Earth society, where do you want that spider to live or that ant? Where are they supposed to live? See, I'm trying to show you that you're not reasonable, and this is why your vibration is on a certain level, folks. It really, to this verse moment, bothers me when I think about that spider, because the spider has been kind to me, folks. Don't really care how you view that, if you think that's silly for me to say that because you're fools. The life force of that spider or these ants or bugs are no different from me, folks. And I've been shown on a level where I've realized this is actual truth and fact, folks. And that's why I have humility in my heart for the bugs. See how that works? So a lot of you, beat on your chest like King Kong, and you stomp on these bugs, and you see a spider, living in this, hanging from its web, living its life, and you decide to climb up on a ladder somewhere and get in a precarious situation, or twist your body and to contort yourself so you can get to this spider so you can bash his head in, folks. But then when you get a serious cyclone or one of these devastating weather situations, you want to be spared. You wish that Mother Nature, whom is Mother Earth, a.k.a., you wish that, on a great one, you wish that she would spare you, folks. Even though she's witnessed all of the moments. And remember, she's in oneness with the nature goddess. So she's experienced every moment where you have shown really great callous in your hearts and have killed things for no reason. It's one thing if you're being swarmed by some bees and you're swinging for your life and you may hit some and kill them or something. But you have to understand something. Those bees, if they know your intentions and your heart, folks, on a certain level, they will not harm you. Right? No more than you would harm a person if you knew their intent. And because you're greater, or so you think, than that bug, you stomp and kill. Right? Recklessly. But when you start getting put in situations where you become the ant, and you're swept away just like nothing, right? Right? You've seen it, right? Plenty of times, right? Powerless, right? They are your landscape, folks. And Mother Earth is doing this because she's a just goddess. And the better day is going to come whether you want it to happen or not, folks. You know, it bothers me that people are so trivial minded where you try to reason with them that an insect or any living thing is alive and has the same level of liveness, quote unquote, if you will, that you have. But because you're narcissistic, like I always say, in your hearts, you're not able to reason on that level. And even up until the very moment where you get all of these bad things that are continuously happening to you, you know, that you have no control over. Just like when you ruined that ant's day, just like when that ant was taking food to its home and you decided to cave its home in because you saw it walking, you said, oh, that'd be neat if I just smashed this home and killed everything, right? This is how you guys think, okay? You see things in their place, in their environment, and you reason that because you're interested in them, you'll go over and you'll mess around with them a little bit for your amusement. Decide their fate for the day, right? And that's very narcissistic because when you think about the narcissist, folks, and this is why I'm taking this all, is all connected. All of this shit is connected, folks. All you have to do is just sit back, right? Open up yourselves and think about yourselves. All of the stuff that you have done that was in foolishness. You know, this is the way of the narcissist, folks, to think and reason like this. We're not ever safe physically because there's always someone willing to do something to us. We always have to be in defense mode. I've said this in many, many videos, folks. We can't work a job and just work a job and go home or something. We have to deal with, it's just so many things in this society, folks, that is the reason why, you know, so many of you are looking forward to this better day that's coming really soon. Okay, nothing about our society is worth glorifying, folks. If you're glorifying something, you're saying what you accomplished, but it's really, every time we listen to these conversations, they're boastful, they're prideful, they're arrogant, they're ignorant. Which is the more important thing about this situation. The ignorance is why you have brought all of this. Okay? So when I tell you that, you know, I explained in the last video about, you know, these food situations, and I try to make you understand that Mother Earth, because you're not reasoning, and I'm telling you, I know Mother Earth, the Earth Mother, right? The planet that you live on, whom is a being, whom is in my family, folks, whom I'm learning great things from, folks. I'm telling you what she's doing, and the other great ones. And I'm showing you things, and I'm explaining you play by play what's happening. For those of you who still have a good heart, who can be saved. The majority of you are already in the shit, folks. The majority of you are the head busters. When you see a fly or insect on a leaf, you go over there and you smash it. So imagine if the great ones reason that. I want y'all to think about it because y'all know that they're mighty enough to give you this pain. Imagine if they were just as foolish as you guys are, and in every moment they felt like doing something, they would just do whatever they want. Every second, any second. Right? And you see how it feels now, doesn't it? You're just like ants, folks. You're just specks of dust, right? Right? Just like the ant, right? But you still haven't reasoned it. And that bothers me that we're so narcissistic and fucking crazy that we behave like this. There was a situation where, I took account of, during the, maybe like over the past couple of weeks, doing stuff and shit, traveling or something or going somewhere, just dealing with people, I would notice that, maybe certain contacts that I had to deal with for business or something, maybe I knew those people, and obviously we were doing business, so I would engage those people. But all of the people around them in different situations, there would be various people. And that is that thing I'm talking about, who have that sickness, that demonic gene, that low-level gene, the hiding. The ones who aren't hiding, folks, I can see them. They show that they manifest themselves because they can't hide from me. I'm connected to higher energy, folks, so immediately I sense these things and I see it for what it is. But, you see these people and they're very strange, folks. If you don't know someone, they're a complete stranger, and you're walking in doing some business and they're working in a professional environment because you're in a professional environment or something, and you just simply pass them and give them a nod. How you doing? And they just stand there and look at you with, just like they're in shock or something. Like I told you, they get struck by some type of low energy or something. See, the fight on this level for me is just on a bigger level because I'm dealing with the big dogs, folks. So I get the lower level, I get their attention right away because I'm a serious threat to them right away. Just me being around them is a threat because I'm in company of the great ones. So I have people do stupid shit. Things that, if I put in a book or something, you guys will laugh about it. I'm working on something more serious than that. And so I'll get to that at some point. But in a new society, folks, there will be no pain. Everything that you do, I try to keep making you guys understand, and I'm not going to really take this down the road of third dimensional economics and stuff like that. I'm not going to try to reason anything on your level because you're fucking fools. I've seen greater things, folks. I'm not interested in what you're saying. In this new society, because I told you guys we'll be talking about this periodically as you watch this take place before your fucking eyes. So it's not like this is I have a dream speech, motherfuckers. You're living the dream, motherfuckers. No, you're living a nightmare. For some of you. And that's sad, but you've brought this on yourselves. A lot of you could not help it by default. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, because you have the narcissistic gene, like I'm saying, like those people. Where you're not capable of reasonable behavior because you have dark energy. So when someone shows you compassion or some higher level of energy, it disengages you. You don't know how to handle this. I've studied this over many years. I've had fucking fools for bosses. I've had fucking co-workers that were idiots. And I've studied many people in my life, just over various times in my life and stuff, over the years, being young and stuff. And I've given you these stories over the years, guys, and you've laughed, gone along and listened to the stories and stuff. But what do you really think about that for yourselves? Are you those people? Are you laughing because you can relate because you've been those people, folks? In a new society, there is no need for you to get up and work around the clock and break your back for someone to give them some paper money or some representative of something, of some a barter or something. That's foolishness, folks. You have to live regardless. Now, all of those people who like the wheel and deal and the shake and bake and all this bullshit and the hustle and bustle and all this shit, you're going to have an opportunity to do all of that in the hellish worlds, folks. So the choice was yours all along. You can't get mad and reason that because Mother Earth is raising her vibration so there will be no more of the foolishness that's going on because you like the foolishness. That you should be able to live in her society that she holds. Do what you want to do that doesn't mesh with the vibrational level. Because you can't even exist doing that shit in the high vibration, folks. And then, you know, you're mad at her because you're saying, why are you doing this? I need my crops. Fuck your crops. What about all of the people? You know, I was looking at some story in the National Geographic. It was one of these history books or something. It was talking about, it was a Civil War story. I'm not going to get into that because I told you, I'm just giving you an example of people. I'm not even getting into the politics or anything, but I'm showing you humanity, folks. And there was a situation where I think the slaves were freed. It was the day after or something, and they had been informed or something, and so they was turned loose in the field, like just like cattle. They didn't know where to go, and I think I've spoken on this before. And there was a slave woman who had some children or something, and they were hungry, and they hadn't eaten. They were and she didn't know what to do, what to feed them, and she was panicking about that because she's a mother, right? See, just like you mothers out there, you other mothers. Some of you are motherfuckers. But anyway, so she's the children are hungry, and you know there was some provisions left from that the soldiers had left or somewhere, and you know the northern soldiers, the guys that actually liberated them from that farm or whatever, doubled back, went into the barns and burned all of and destroyed all of the food and provisions and took all of the ham and threw it in the river. And rode off with the rest of the unit with pride and happiness in their heart. And I want you to freeze frame that. Every time I tell you these stories, these yay stories, you know, when you cheer, I want you to freeze the frame about and look at your face. Look at the scowl on the people's faces as they're cheering. There's an energy in them. See, this has been going on for generations, folks. I'm trying to show you in various ways. Not even seeing the humanity of something. Or this little thing I read about, a little slave girl narrative where there was some slave girl. She was maybe 7 or 8 years old or something, and she had a poor family she lived with, and her slave owners were like, you know, it was just her. She was the only slave they had, but they would work her to death and stuff. And the wife or something was really big and overweight, and she used to sit in this rocking chair and spit in this can and bark orders all day and stuff. And I think the little girl was cleaning up behind something and found a little piece of candy, like a little molded piece of candy or something. The girl hadn't eaten. The girl took and broke a piece off the piece and didn't even eat the whole candy. Broke a piece off or something. The piece that didn't have mold on it or something. And the lady saw her with something in her mouth and asked her. And since she had that piece of candy that she found on the floor in her mouth, the lady put her head under the rocking chair and crushed her skull. And for the rest of this woman's life, she was paralyzed or something. It was something I can't think about all the stuff to the story. I can't remember, recall everything about it, but it was so bad, folks. And I felt a tensing in my body. See, what I'm saying is I have a mirror. When you don't get that tensing in your body, there's something wrong with you. There are too many of you who have this fucking gene. It doesn't matter what race you are, because like I said, people do it to each other. Humans, folks. When you don't have a body anymore, you're just a soul. You don't have a race. You don't have a name or anything. You have a name, and the Most High holds your name, folks, and knows your name. Do you understand what I'm trying to explain to you, folks? Your damnation is about ignorance. All of the stuff you do is you're based on your inability to reason another being's existence. Just like a bug or anything. That's what I'm saying. That's why you have wars. I keep saying this over and over again like a broken fucking record. And, you know, some of y'all say, hey man, you preaching to the choir. But am I, motherfuckers? Am I preaching to the choir? Because I wanted you guys to understand that everything we do in this society is held by hands of evil. And this is why we have to hold on to God until he completely liberates what you're seeing him do. It just got started, folks. Look at what you're looking at right now. Right? Instead of me calling plays and telling you what's going to come next or do this or that, I'm not even going to do that. I just want you to see it play out. Bear witness, motherfuckers. I think that's one of my famous quotes. For those of you who scoff and and think that I'm gaslighting you or I'm playing. I mean, I don't even have time for you people because you're fucking fools. A lot of you are demoniacs and you will never rise. You will perish. Fact. And so your job at this point is to deceive all of the dumb fucking fools who have already been written off. Just like the tax write-offs y'all like to do. God already knows and can account for who's who, folks. Those of you who try to pretend and act a certain way, it doesn't matter what I think about you because the Most High can see you for who you are. You understand what I'm saying? I don't fear any of you motherfuckers. It's silly. You know? I had someone send me a email or something the other day, and it was like they were playing a little game or something on the message. You know how people try to break your message or something. And I thought to myself, does this person really they obviously just do not even realize what they're doing at this point. I'm talking about me specifically. Right? I don't even have to know the person, folks. You understand what I'm saying? I'm in my house somewhere, and this person has no idea that I'm related to the beings that are making the air for them and holding their landscape at the house they're at doing the bullshit they're doing. Their ability to even move the energy through the line is being assisted by beings that are in my family. So everything you're doing is being watched, and I laugh because that's why I said when you get crushed, you will see this increase. When I say increase, what do y'all think that means, folks? What does increasing mean? If you're seeing things on this level and you're reporting it as record breaking, the records are being record broken, right? Every day. This has been going on for months, right? Since we first spoke about this, right? And I think a few of you know that this is not a game and this is serious because the Great One gave you word that this is now the time. I don't think you should take her for a joke. Any of them. Okay? Because you guys are walking around trying to go about your daily lives like this is a joke and that nothing's going to happen and that you'll get through this and you'll see. The worst of you will see. The best of you, all I want you to do is hang on to God. I just want to pick up this conversation from where we left off. And I'm taking a break anyway, y'all. I'm working on some stuff. It's really important. A new society is coming forward. I'll just wrap this up and say this. And when I say being on board, it's not even about you being forced to do anything, folks, because you have a choice. You don't have to. You can be arrogant and be foolish. You just won't be in this society, folks. You'll just be in whatever world that your vibration, the low scumbags, as low as you are, will go as low as you go. Right? But I want you to understand that once you get in that environment, you're dealing with beings who are that environment. If you thought you were somebody, you know you will be the fool in the hellish world, folks. You're dealing with dark energy. The same dark energy that was able to deceive your fucking asses to take you down with them anyway. Okay? So yeah, I do want to do a stump video. I didn't get to it today, like I said. I've been really plugging away. I'm working on some really important stuff. And the next video I do will be a stump. And maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after that or something. But I appreciate you guys who are listening. Because you know this is not about my ego. I really don't care. Because I'm not trying to. This is not about a popularity contest, folks. I do care about you, the ones that have the vibration. Because I'm going to have to deal with you folks. We're going to have to see each other in this new society. Okay? And you don't have to worry about a rat race, folks. The Lord is going to liberate us. He's going to lead our society. Vishnu is listening, folks. Call out to him. You don't have much time. To the next video, folks. Y'all take care.